Hello again, everybody. Today is the perfect day for me to talk a little bit to the 2019 hikers that are maybe just starting. We're right around the time for them to start their through hikes. Some of them have already started. Some of them are getting ready to start. So the bubble is headed to Amicalola, and within the next 2 or 3 weeks there's going to be a bunch of hikers on the trail. And today I want to talk about mental toughness and mental preparation on finishing the trail. The saying is that the trail is about 80% to 90% mental, and I believe that to be true. The physical preparations, the gear preps, all that kind of stuff are what the hikers have been doing all along, getting prepared and everything. But the real challenge is getting ready to start. So let's talk a little bit about it. The true sign of mental toughness is the ability to continue moving even when you're feeling tired, scared, hurt, or fearful. Believe me, once people start getting started, the excitement of hiking is overwhelming. But as you get going down the trail, your mindset gets to thinking, because you have an inner voice in your head that is talking to you the whole time. And there's a lot of time that you spend that is alone time. And you find out quickly that you've got to get right with yourself. When you get started, if your mindset is defeated, the result's going to be the same. No matter how often you put up a physical fight, if you're defeated before you start, then your result is not going to be good. And everybody's final result is to finish their through hike. I'm going to steal a quote here, and I'm not exactly sure where it came from, but I'll tell you where I got it. I got it from a Scoutmaster video that I'm pretty sure Early Riser commented on. And the comment, I'm not sure if it was from Early Riser or it was from Scoutmaster, or if they got it from somewhere else. But the quote, and I've added a little bit to it, the toughest opponent is the opponent that you have that's inside yourself. You don't conquer the trail. As you continue up the trail, it's a journey inside yourself, and you conquer the old you. If you think about all of that, there's a lot of truth in those statements. So your head is telling you things, and you can either accept what it's saying or decline what it's saying. Negative thoughts are creeping in. You know, the devil, angel. You got the devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other. And really, you have to listen to your heart at that point to make the decisions that will help you successfully through your hike. So getting prepared for a through hike mentally there's a lot of different ways that people have talked about to prepare yourself mentally. And I will admit that glad that I read Zach Davis's book, Appalachian Trials. And I learned a lot out of it, and I took a lot from it. I learned through my own experience that stubbornness is actually a great quality. And stubbornness is one of the qualities that I have, that I refuse to quit. And being a stubborn person, setting your goal as to what you want to do, helps you get through that. In Zach Davis's book, Appalachian Trials, there's an exercise that I did, and it tells you to write down, and some people can do it on their phone. You know, those new folks, I'm old school. I went ahead, and this is actually the card that I laminated, carried it with me through the whole trail, and pulled this out when you're having that rough day, when things are bad, when things are hurting, when you're scared, tired, whatever it may be. And on one side of my card, that you ask yourself the reasons why you're through hiking. and write them down and before you start. And then the second part of the card, you write down, if I quit, I will whatever, and write those things down. And I'll go ahead and share with you the things that I wrote on my card and pulled them out. I didn't have to pull them out all the time, but I pulled them out on 2 or 3 occasions on a trail and read through them, and it really helped me. So I'll get to those in just a second. All right, so the first side says reasons why I'm through hiking a trail. My first reason was it's the experience of a lifetime, and I want to do it before I get too old or injured. The second thing I wrote was I can afford it now. The third thing I wrote was I need to compress 34 years of law enforcement. The next thing I wrote is I'll be able to tell awesome stories of my experience on the trail. The next thing I wrote, I will vlog my experience and be able to share it with friends and family forever. And I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Got one more thing on that list, but you know, the vloggers that are out there, actually, it's a good thing to let as many people know as you can that you're going to be through hiking, because it kind of puts that extra pressure on you to finish, because you don't want to disappoint your subscribers. You know, you want to, all your, you know, your friends will know. The more people that know, the more silent pressure you put on yourself. For some people that's good. For me that was good. For some people that may not be bad, but it's just something to think about. So vlogging your trip and sharing it with your friends and family and anybody that may want to watch was actually a very good thing for me. And the last thing I wrote on that half of the card was, life is short, do it now. And just like anything else in life, if you wait for it to happen or you keep putting it off and putting it off, you might not ever get it done. So that was the first half of the card. The other half, I flip it over, and if I give up or quit, I will. Number 1, feel shame, like a failure, and be that guy that couldn't do it. I had watched a lot of YouTube videos and talked to people that had tried and failed hiking the Appalachian Trail, and I couldn't put myself in that role as not being one that finished. And I knew before I started, at least I told myself, that either I was going to finish or an injury was going to take me off, which it almost did, or if some family emergency happened that I couldn't get back to the trail in time. Those were the only things I knew that would take me off, partially because of my stubbornness, but I knew that I wasn't going to quit before I started. The second thing I wrote was I would be embarrassed that I took on a challenge and failed. For me, I'm a very competitive person, and I'm a goal setter, and I'll go into that a little bit, that some people can set long-range goals, and everybody should set a long-range goal to finish at Katahdin, and that's a good goal. But as you're going along, you can't think, of course you can dream of Katahdin, but you can't think of Katahdin on a daily basis as a goal. You need to break those goals down into maybe my next resupply in 3 days. Could be my next shelter I'm going to stop at. Could be the next hill I'm going to keep climb. Could be the next rock I'm going to cross. So you have to set those smaller goals to make those bigger goals happen. And that's what worked for me, is in my goal setting, is I didn't overextend myself in my goal setting. So something to think about. If I give up on the trail and quit, I will not be the person that I believe I am. That was deep for me, and you know, I believe that I'm a finisher. And throughout the whole trail, I was sure in my head that I was going to finish. If I quit, I will feel like that I wasted all that time, money, training, and planning. Believe me, I know what it takes to go through the gear prep, the cost of not just the gear, but the cost of actual hiking, the planning that you do and that people are doing now. I know what you go through, and if you quit, to me, I would feel like I wasted it. So that was another big motivator for me. And the last thing I wrote, and this is another thing on me personally, I hate losing even more than I love winning. And I've always been like that in my life. When I win, it's good, it's fun, it's great. But when I lose, I'm devastated. In the trail, completing a thru hike, it's a pass-fail scenario. You either finish the thru hike or you don't finish the thru hike. Pass or fail. So that's the card that I carried with me from Springer to Katahdin that helped me get through the trail and getting through some tough times. Now, while you're walking, you've got that inner voice talking to you. And for me, I had that thing talking to me for almost every minute of the day. Sometimes you can drown it out with a podcast or music or whatever it may be, but it's still there. And it wasn't telling me to quit, but buddy, it was harping on me like, man, can you do this? And some of the worst parts for me is when I would take a wrong step, or all of a sudden my knee would start hurting, or my ankle, or something, a pain that was not just a soreness pain. And in my head, it would start spinning immediately. Oh my God, this is going to end my thru hike because I've never felt this pain before. And it never failed. Every time that happened, if I blocked it out and kept walking, that all of a sudden it would go away. Sometimes I would carry that pain into camp and fall asleep at night thinking there's no way I'm going to be able to get up tomorrow morning and hike. My knee is killing me, my ankle is killing me, my back is killing me, whatever it may be. And every time I woke up the next morning refreshed. So the healing powers of sleep definitely is a good thing. And just the knowing the difference between pain and injury is one of the things that if you don't learn, you should learn quickly while you're out there. I'm going to go ahead and end up this video with a couple of quotes and working on your inner voice, letting you know that working on your inner voice prior to your thru hike is one of the ways to help you successfully navigate through the mental part. And working on your mental voice for me was positive thoughts, going back to my card and remembering what I'm out here for, and knowing that the pain and the loneliness and whatever you may be going through, the driving rainstorms, the snowstorms, and all that stuff is temporary. So a couple of quotes I found that stick in my mind. One of them, pain is temporary. It may last a minute, an hour, a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. But if you quit, the pain lasts forever. And I knew that if I quit, that I would never be able to live that down in my head. So that was another driving, motivating factor for me. And I'm going to leave it with this. Always remember that you are braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. So with that, I want to wish all the 2019 thru hikers out there good luck. the ones that have already left and the ones that are getting prepared to leave, and know that it will be the journey of a lifetime. And just keep plugging, don't quit, and don't let that inner voice take over and those bad thoughts get in there. Continue with those positive thoughts and get yourself all the way up the trail. All right, PT out. Good luck, everybody.